Hey you guys, this is your sister Truth Seeker 5000 BKA Evangelist Donnie V. Anderson getting on here for another Wayward Pines Season 1. This is episode 8 and 9, you guys. 2 for 1. I missed you guys. I've been on so many projects and doing so many things, but I'm back now. Definitely can't wait for the finale. Okay, so let's get into this, okay? So this is episode 8. After the truck explosion, Ben is in critical condition. My husband, who was watching with me, asked what kind of a small bomb that was. He said that would have never brought the wall down, which is what their intention was, to bring that main Wayward Pines wall down so they can get free, get to where they can get to be free, like they just slaves and carried on. Harold and his partner, they're trying to break their truck out of Wayward Pines gate. We find later Harold changes his mind and aborts the mission. Kate, she's having flashbacks of being held in an insane asylum inside of Wayward Pines, and she asked Pilcher, aka Dr. Jenkins, a very interesting question. She said, is this a CIA psyop? She mentions how various countries have fake cities built all elaborately just for show. No one living there or any of that. So you guys know me. I went to seek some truth out on it in research and found about 8 countries that have fake cities, China being one of them. They also are called ghost towns. And China, they spent actually $50 billion making these cities. And when the money dried up, they stopped and abandoned the project. No one lives there because they say that it will be too expensive. That's how elaborate they built these cities out. We here in the U.S., we actually have a place in Utah where they have built a Mars colony replica, where people are living there as if they were living on Mars for real. And they are, I don't know if they're doing like preparations to go and go to Mars, because remember I told you guys in one of my videos that the government, they're planning on sending about 60 people to Mars on a shuttle. So this may be their little practice. I know they reached out to the people. They've reached out to them already. So, of course, you know, there has to be some type of training that goes into it, you know, in preparation before they get into this ship and get slingshotted all the way, you know, to Mars. Which I'm just like, who in their right mind is going to sign up for that? Somebody that's, I guess, just fed up with this planet. They say, I'm getting off by any means necessary. But anyway, I think our government just have way too much time on their hands. Be just cherry picking people to just slingshot them somewhere on another planet. But anyway, back to the show. The teacher is further brainwashing Ben. We see her gassing his head up to be the leader, you know, and a rebellious child against his father for not reckoning the rebels. Teresa, Ben's mother, is not feeling that teacher. She hasn't since day one. A mother always knows when someone is messing with her child, you know, and she said to her, she told that teacher, stay away from my family. You know, after asking what her agenda really was, you know, which was a good question. I mean, it was fair. It's like, what is it you're trying to do here with my child? What are you putting in his head? What's going on? She was very direct. And the teacher's just like, no, we're on the same team. I'm just here to help. And, you know, Ben goes out ultimately to the crowd of teenagers who came to hear what he had to say, especially to hear what he had to say about why his father hadn't reckoned the rebels yet. Next, Pilcher sent his sister, Nurse Pam, to do an investigation to see what watcher is not doing their job when he finds people taking out their chip. So she investigates, calls them into the room, sit them down, talk to each one of them, and she finds one watcher who had been erasing incriminating footage of people so that they wouldn't get in trouble, he said. And she took compassion on him and didn't tell Pilcher about it when he asked if she had found out anything. She didn't say anything. It was, I said, look at Nurse Pam. Who knew? She had a human side to her. One of my viewers had said a couple weeks ago that, predicted that this was going to happen with her because she was just so harsh. I think that they felt like it's got to be another side to her story. As we move forward, we're seeing she is compassionate. She has some in there for the people, especially the people who she said volunteered to come and not just, had an amnesia moment in a car crash and just ended up there. There were actually people who volunteered. We watching could tell that Pilcher is starting to feel like he can't trust her or anyone else. I think we've all have had that kind of moment. He put a fake smile on, but he knew what was about to start happening. And you could kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, So he ended up having the Watcher man, arrested and detained in this capsule. They sealed him up instead of reckoning and killing him. Not sure which is worse though. It kind of is like you're still living, but you're living like dead in that capsule thing, because they literally buried him alive in that thing. In the meantime, the rebels take a tanker truck and crash it through the gate, and he thought he was home free. He had him. It was him and his dead partner that he didn't want to leave inside of Wayward Pines. He wanted his, deceased friend to get free and like him, and he was going to bury him on outside of Wayward Pines soil until he drug his friend out that car and was crying happy. And them Abbeys came out and went cannibalistic all over them both. I mean, and then they turned their sights to the entrance of the city. Now, I was mad because they didn't show them charging in like we all wanted to see. We've been waiting for those Abbeys to break and get loose and rush out all through that town for 9 episodes now. Can't wait. So that was episode 8. Now in episode 9, we picked back up with the Abbeys gaining access into Wayward Pines. It was about 3 of them from under that truck that crashed. Sheriff Burke, though, he was right there to kill all 3 of them and had that gate sealed back up. They were fast. Those people, they get on the scene and they get the job, get the work done. They sealed that gate right on back up. But just before that, Kate had they showed a scene of him having a knife to Kate's neck on the reckoning platform, acting like he was going to kill her, but he just put her and her crew in jail. Agent Burke showed Harold the pics of what the Abbeys did to his friends, and he was still in denial. I mean, I would have believed a bit, but I would have told him, let me see a specimen of it though. Give me, I'm truth seeker. Let me, see a little extra. I got to know. If you're telling me such a grand story such as that, because guys, they have been planning for years, this coup and, break out. So it's kind of like, okay, you telling me, this life-changing thing after all these years of me knowing what I know and understanding from my book of understanding of, what needs to be done, which is we need to break out of here. Now you're telling me, honey, you don't want to do that. You don't want to break up out of here. But shout out to Harold for giving up those 14 names that Sheriff Burke asked for. Burke was like, give me all the names. He hesitated, but he went on, and after those pictures, I guess he said, he just here. I don't know what's going on. Can't explain it, but just here. He did a good thing telling, on this one, because they needed to know who all was involved. Next, Amy's brain got enlarged and she could actually die, they said. I didn't see that coming. I thought it would have been Ben. The teacher, uh, she getting more and more into Ben's head to be this first generation leader of this kid cult. They again are giving us children of the corn teas. It was really eerie. They found out Kate and them were not going to be reckoned. And they went off, the people and, you know, the kids, and they went off and killing the Wayward Rebellion followers of Kate's crew. They went to the jailhouse and just killed those people. I was outdone. That was terrible. But it shows you how far these cults would go if we would let them run rampant. So next, we see Teresa creeping around an underground bunker, and she better than me, because I'm not going to no dark places just being nosy. I'm going to mind my business in the light. I'm not Carol Ann. You know, you ain't got to tell me don't go into the light, because I'm not going into that light, because that's not the real light. That's some darkness. I don't know what I thought was going to be down there. But she ends up finding a vault of video recordings from people who made it outside of Wayward Pines across the country, actually validating that there's nothing left out there but some ruin and a few people scattered abroad playing the real live game of survival out there. You know, wow. So we really know for real there's nothing out there. There's video footage of people, you know, saying, hey, it's desolate out here. It's nothingness. This is the year 4028. Wow, can you guys imagine? 4028. 4,000. This is the year 2015. Going into 16. The year 4,000 though. Whew. I was wondering how they all survived those abbeys. If those abbeys are multiplied and they're all over the place, how are they, you know, fending them off and living, surviving? My husband said them abbeys are people turned cannibal after not having good, after coming out of those hibernation chambers. He said that was a effect, that he believed it was an effect of being 2,000 years in this capsule and then coming out and, you know, not having food, and just this is a new atmosphere kind of, because it's 2,000 years later. Who knows what the atmosphere will be like? Who knows what the planets and the sun and everything, how they would have changed to affect the earth and the atmosphere. So that was his good guess about how those abbeys mutated. But Burke, he ended up later on, he tricked Pilcher into getting the town together around Kate's fake reckoning, and they told them the truth. He acted like he was going to reckon her, but him and Kate, they end up just spilling the beans. You know, the teacher, she in the crowd, she tried to raise up in defense of Pilcher and against Kate and throwing accusations at her, and she got Teresa's paws put on her. When Teresa slapped fire out of her, which was a long time coming, you, me, all of y'all know it was a long time coming. She been wanting to put paws on that girl. I always knew she was going to lay hands on her for brainwashing her son, Ben. So that was coming. We knew it. Next thing we know, Pilcher, he got into his feelings and got real petty. And he cut the lights off on the town. He just closed the lights on them. And why he do that? Because the Abbey, I was thinking, why did he do that? Because the Abbeys were out there, you know, waiting for that feast of a meal to come. And child, they showed the previews for the finale for next week, and it looked crazy. I sure will be there for it, you know. Most definitely, it was crazy. The Abbeys, they must have been always at all times laying and waiting for a sign of them to be able to get over that wall. They know it's electrified, but when something changed, they knew they can climb up there, and they showed them Abbeys climbing up there. And seriously though, the most scariest scene of that, you know, next week's review was when Cheryl Burke was sitting in that corner on the floor. I don't know if he was in the bathroom or what, and all those hands came up, the Abbey hands. Child, My heart jumped. They better not play us. They better give it. They better give it. They better give it. That's all I know. I sure will be there for it. So that's my reviews for Wayward Pines Season 1, Episode 8 and 9. Looking forward to the finale next week so much. Hopefully you guys are watching it with me. You're still with me. Lastly, I posted the other week that me and my longtime mentor, Mr. Cameron Fields, who is a very successful businessman, have partnered together creating a new system called the Wealthy Elite System that will help anyone in their online and offline business to be a success. And we show people how to make money online. We even have a business tool system to put you in if you don't have an online business yet. We are personally training people. The training is valued at $300. That's what he usually charges. But we are training a select amount of people for free who join our the Wealthy Elite group. So if you want to make some money online, I'm looking for about 6 people to personally work with and train right now at this moment. For more information about it, click the link below. Go to my business channel, Building Wealth with Dawn B. Subscribe there and watch the presentation video and take action, then sign up. And I'll add you to our private elite group for training. My number will be in the back office and information, so you can contact me as well. So I will meet all the go-getters there. I will see you guys later. Bye for now.